Hello everybody, today we've got another day in the cacti garden. We have some pretty cool stuff that goes on here as normal. Over here we have a TBMB, and it's got a total of 4 pups. I know I need to go and weed out some of these things, but there's 1, 2, 3, and then you can see this one over here is getting bigger. That's number 4. We have a bunch of these different ones. The rest of these, except for 2 of them, are Kimura's Giants, Bridge Sea by Kimura's Giants. Coming over, we see that these are starting to get bigger through the season. This one's starting to do pretty well. It's one of the ones that I think looks pretty cool. Over here, we've got a couple of more going on. This is the one that had the basil pups that was over here. Coming over here, we have one that I had to cut through a couple of times because the top had gotten very, very squishy, and it had gotten very, very gross. So I just decided before it would be worse, I lopped it off. You can see there's sunburn on a lot of these because I didn't put a shade cloth out at the beginning of the season. I'm not as worried about them looking good as growing well because they were just in the basement under one single 600 watt grow light for all of these. So that didn't really give me much space. Over here we have the one that has been pupping out. Looks like we've got 2 pups on here, and they're getting pretty big pretty fast. Like a week and a half ago this first started pupping. So you can see it's going to do well. It's going to come off as a stand. And there's also more basil pups coming out around here too. So you can see this is going to turn into a stand pretty fast. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 basil pups, and it's got the 2 ones at the top. So this is going to have 6 different tops in another few years. So this one's going to be pretty cool, and it looks like it's going to grow well. It seems like there's an expression of basil pupping on these Bridge Sea by Kimura's Giant. So a little more than before, but I think that part of it is taking it and chopping it like that and redirecting its growth more towards the roots and more towards a couple of pups on the outside. So I think this one's going to be really cool and going to be a nice fat stand. I'm going to probably have to up pot it in at the end of the season. I up potted it at the beginning of this season, so maybe 2 years I'll have to go. So back here, this one was doing really well, and then I let it in the winter just, stay inside, and it got really small, and as you can see from the side, it bent itself over. Depending at the end of the year how it grows, I may take this one, I may keep it, or I may chop it off about here and do like what I did with this one, but also take this top and root it kind of like I did with that top there. That was from this one, because I cut this top off at the beginning of the season like 2 months ago, a month ago. Now it'd be a month and a half ago, probably, maybe 2, more of a month and a half. Over here we got one of my other favorite ones. I really like how this looks and how it's coming out. It's got this very blue look to it, but it also, you can tell where the new growth starts right here because the blue goes away. This is where the ribs all came together and they all formed at the top. So you can see what goes on at the top there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ribs on it. And you can see how they've been growing. We've got probably 2 inches of growth, 1.5 inches, 2 inches of growth. And that's in a month and a half about. And for the beginning, it had to get going because I had to adjust to more light. As you can see, there's light burn on a lot of these. Again, I needed to do a shade cloth. Coming over here, we have more of the other ones that are doing well. This one's not as big, but it's pretty cool. This is the other one that I think is really cool that's going to get big. If you can see, it started here. It got a little bit smaller from last season, got a little bit bigger and stopped, and then it started growing again another inch, 2 inches, 1.5 inches. So that one's doing pretty well too. Coming over here, we got another one that's going to end up getting fat. And a lot of these are way back in how tall and how large they are, because I had started these about 11 years ago now, and so they're old, but they're not big yet because they're all in pots and not in the ground. If these were in the ground, they would be huge by now. I would have a huge a bunch of stands and everything else. It would just be ginormous. This whole yard that I have would be filled just with cacti. I'd like that, but my wife would be annoyed, and I don't think they would live all year outside. So anyway, a couple of the last ones. This is one of the few ones I didn't grow from seed. This is a Bridge Sea. This is a straight Bridge Sea. a straight Bolivian torch. And over here, we've got another straight Bolivian torch. This is another bridge seat. I got this with that one. As you can see, it's got a lot of sunburn. Down here where it was all squishy, it looks like this healed itself and it's no longer squishy. So I have nothing wrong with it. That's why you always wait a little bit and let them completely die off or whatnot, because either they're going to die or they're going to heal themselves. And as you can see, this one healed itself, which means while this one might be susceptible to some rot, that it has the ability to overcome the rot and heal itself. So that's pretty good. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pups, or 6 parts of the stand. So this one's going to turn into a stand pretty fast. Last up here is the one that was about 3 feet that I had to chop back. Going to get it in the house. And you can see it's starting to grow well. You can see where this season started right here and starting to grow. It'll get fat again, just taking a little bit. And then here's the other pup on it. So it's doing pretty well. Oh, look, there's another pup I didn't see that for. Oh, look, how about that? Huh. So another pup. Okay. So this thing's gonna pup into a stand too. Great. So these ones tend to pup really well. So anyway, thank you guys very much for looking at my my yard and my cacti grow. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great day.